Hello, everyone, and happy Halloween early. I guess it's Halloween week, all week, because of COVID. Uh, Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to start off the evening with the fabulous Juli Wood and Mike Schlick. We've got a lot of fun stuff for you tonight, but we're going to kick it off with some music. Soon.
Hello,
Hey there.
Quasimodo, the bell ringer of the Cathedral of Notre Dame. And this is my friend, Mike, the drummer. And for our first number, I'd like to play the song that was written for me by the great Charlie Parker. It's called Quasimodo. That's me. A one, two, a one, two. Oh, yeah, I'm so glad Charlie wrote that for me. Yeah, and I'm in love with a gypsy girl named Esmeralda. Esmeralda, I love you. And this next tune is about our relationship because she's so beautiful and I'm so ugly. Oh, it's called Ugly Beauty by Thelonious Monk. Okay, Mike. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready. Oh, that was nice. Ugly, ugly beauty. Well, now, I need some water. Water. For our last selection, I'd like to sing a little love song to Esmeralda and to the bells, One, two. What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. It's almost like being in love. I've got a smile on my face for the whole human race. It is almost like being in love. All the music in life seems to be like a bell that keeps ringing for me. From the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling, swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. It's almost like being in love. From the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal. I love the bells. They're my friends. They're my friends. All the music in life seems to be like a bell that keeps ringing for me. Oh, from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling. I swear I was falling. It's almost like being, it's almost like being in love. I'm in love, Esmeralda. Oh, thank you, Mike. Mike, my friend. Happy Halloween! That's all, folks.
I really appreciate the commitment. I really do. Did you study the Stanislavski method or?
No, but I watched the movie with and that was really good. Yeah.
See you soon, Julie.
Bye. Goodbye.
Ah. Okay. Oh, sometimes those technical difficulties are all the time. Ah, there's Julia.
Hello, my dear. How are you doing this evening?
Good. Would you mind switching around in the order while I mess with, you know?
Oh, my darling, I was born ready, which I suppose at this point is a bit moot, since I'm dead. But you know, I said to myself, I saw some videos of that charming young man, Liam McShane, and I said to myself, well, I must surround myself with the youth so that I can regain some of mine. You know, it's really not hard for me to interact with virile young men. All I need to is stick my arm out and I'm satisfied.
I've heard that about
You will be satisfied too once we're finishing making these cocktails together. I can't wait for you all to join me.
I'm gonna leave you to it, Julia.
Excellent, excellent. So, specialty is French cocktails. You may ask yourself, well, I don't have the necessary ingredients for French cocktails. What can I do? Or does that Julia child have chest hair? Or is that a dirty kitchen? And I have one answer for you, is go fuck yourself. So without further ado, I would like to start our cocktail presentation. We have 3 French cocktails, which I've organized in ascending order of least to most French. And I'm sure this is a cocktail you all will have heard of many times and will recognize its name. We're going to make a variation on the French 75. Now, French 75 was originally created in the United States, although accounts vary of its history and origin. People have been drinking champagne and spirits and mostly sugars and fruits for many, many years. There's documentation of it happening among the American Revolution. So what you will need is your base spirit. I have gotten my gin right here. We will need a little bit of lemon juice. We will need some champagne. You know, it's very French to use plenty of champagne, both in the cocktail and tasting throughout presentation and construction. So you'll see here, oh, it's getting close. You know, I'm very good at popping bottles. Yes. Oh, here it comes. We'd probably better give it a little bit of a try. Excellent. So in addition to your base spirit, almost always gin, although you may use whatever you like, depending on what you have around you at home. I'm using gin. We have our lemon, our bubbly, and a little bit of sweetness to bring out flavor. What I have done here is I have made a pear pepper simple syrup simply by boiling pear in some water. And then I added a little bit of pepper just to give it a little bit of a pop. After all, it is fall. After that, I combined it with an equal part of brown sugar and the hot water that I strained all the pepper and the pear from. I think you'll find it's very delicious. Enough that I might be tempted to taste some myself, but I won't. I told myself, no, Julia, you're much better than that, especially with your adoring fans, your audience waiting right behind you. Oh, my ice seems to have frozen a bit, so let's focus on the other components of the cocktail first. Now, we must take our measuring spoons. For those who have watched some videos of my young ward, Liam McShane, before, you will know that if I talk about ounces, I'm really talking about 2 tablespoons per ounce. And I will mention both sizes, both measurements. So we take our shaking tin, or whatever is handy, that can close at the top and allow you to vibrate it and agitate it generously. Which reminds me, I was on set filming an episode of one of my cooking shows when the table beneath me began to vibrate, and I had to tell my accomplice at the time to get out from under it. He was causing an awful scene. So we will use 1.5 ounces of our spirit, in this case gin, otherwise known as 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. We will use 0.5 ounce of the lemon juice. Excellent. And then we will feature a little bit of that lovely, lovely syrup. Oh yes, let's fill up a 0.5 ounce of that too. 0.5 ounce, in this case being 1 tablespoon each of sweetener and juice. And let's check in on our ice to see how we're doing. Oh, wonderful, it's coming along very nicely. I definitely don't have to dig around in a glass like some sort of heathen right now. I'm very glad to be able to exhibit this kind of professionalism for you all. So we're going to pour in the ice that is cooperating into our shaking tin. Oh, it's looking excellent. And we're going to give it a good shake. You know, it wasn't always this easy to have good cocktails at home, but hopefully, with what you have lying around, you won't have to buy many things from the store. Excellent. And then we're going to give it a little bit of strain into a lovely glass. Yummy. Oh, yes, it's pouring quite nicely. Oh, excellent. And then we're going to give it a top off with our excellent bubbly. And you know, since we have a lot of pear component, I think I'd like to add a little bit of a garnish. In this case, I have a lovely pear, courtesy of the Glenwood Sunday Market. Unfortunately, they had the very last day of the season this Sunday. I know there were a lot of people very sad to see them go until next June. We fit it in right at the edge there. Delectable. Let's give it a try, shall we? I couldn't have made it better myself. So next, we are going to kick the Frenchness up a little bit. We're going to make what is known as a vieux carré. The vieux carré is a classic cocktail of New Orleans origin, in particular the French Quarter, where we're getting a little bit closer to France. It is a variation, a little bit old-fashioned in style, featuring rye whiskey, Benedictine, sweet vermouth, and a little bit of brandy. You can also use cognac if you have some at hand. This will be a stirred cocktail. How are we doing, Ice? Are we doing all right? The Ice says we're doing just fine. So we are going to use equal parts each of a rye whiskey. We will be using 3/4 of an ounce. Now, I don't have a half tablespoon measure here, so I will simply estimate what I believe to be 1.5 tablespoons. First, we're adding the rye whiskey. In this case, I'm using Deadwood, easily available at local stores, including, but not limited to, Rogers Park and Provisions Uptown. So we've added the rye whiskey. We're going to add a little bit of brandy. This is another one of the spirits that I often like to try liberally at home. Oh, excellent. That is the problem with having excellent ingredients. And what is the point of making anything if you do not have excellent ingredients? So now that we've added the brandy, now we're going to add some sweet vermouth. This is a lovely sweet vermouth that I like to use by Barovo, which is an entirely female-owned and operated spirits company out of the Pacific Northwest. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Excellent. Next, I'm going to be adding some Benedictine. This recipe calls for a bar spoon. You may use whatever is handy. Here, I have a mixing spoon with a little bit of an indentation at the end, so I can measure out just a little bit. Oh, excuse me. I would like to say that my sensibilities do not match my action just now, but I do not want to lie with you. So now that we have added the Benedictine, we are going to add 2 dashes each of patience bitters. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, excellent. And Angostura bitters. If you do not have both of these, why then you may simply use what is on hand as long as it is a little bit spicy and aromatic. We're going to do 2 dashes of the Angostura aromatic bitters. Now we are going to add a little bit of this cantankerous ice to our mixing glass. This is another tool that you can always substitute for a good wide-bottomed glass. I think all you would have to do would be to ask my husband to simply verify the efficacy and good taste of things with wide bottoms. Oh, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. And by the way, don't listen to that skag Amy Adams that was featured in the movie about me. I tell you what, she just doesn't call like she used to. Something about the funeral, something of the like. Anyway, we're mixing very well, and our mixing glass, because we are not shaking, we can give it a little bit longer to make sure that the ice melts just a little bit, and that we are allowing our drink to mix completely. Excellent, excellent. So now we are going to take a large ice cube. I have here an excellent ice cube. Put it right in the glass. Pour over. Ooh, that looks good. Very excited. This is a very boozy cocktail, but as I think you may find, is very smooth, very smooth. We're going to give it a little bit of a garnish. Oh, I think I would like to use a little lemon peel. This is native to most old fashions that you may make, and this vieux carré is no exception. Okay, so then we take the lemon peel and Holding it gingerly between 2 fingers, we express it lightly over the top of the glass, and then wipe it around the inside. That way, every time we take a sip, we get a little bit of that lemon aromaticity. That's a word that I'm not sure is real, and I've just made it up for your enjoyment and mine. Cheers. Excellent. I would say slap your mother, but your mother is a lovely woman, and you should never speak ill of her. Now, we have one more cocktail left. This one happens to be one of my personal favorites, and it is by far the most French out of the 3. So, what we are going to get is a lovely wine glass. I will give you a little bit of background around this cocktail, most often called a Kir, or K-I-R. This is a traditional French cocktail invented in the first half of the 20th century by the mayor of Dijon, France. He would serve it to all of his guests. They took it around the world. Next thing you know, boom's your uncle. So, what are we going to do with this? We are going to take a French custom and build it right in the glass. As any self-respecting Frenchman, woman, child, dog, or rock will tell you, simplicity does not mean bad. In fact, simplicity, when properly executed, is the key to anything that is good. So, first we are going to take a small amount of crème de cassis, which is in and of itself a black currant liqueur, very dark and aromatic, very lovely. We are going to put in a half ounce, otherwise known as a full tablespoon. We are going to measure a little bit. Excellent. Excellent. Put that aside. Thank you very much. We are going to measure out a half ounce of Calvados. Now, in a normal Kir, you will have crème de cassis and a nice white wine. However, I'm using a particular variation on the crème de cassis that I find is more suitable to the season, called the Kir Normand. Now, as we all know, the Normandy region of France produces excellent apple brandies, such as this one right here, Calvados, also available at your local retailer. Provisions. So, we are replacing, in this case, the wine with a little bit of Calvados, and as you will see in a moment, a dry apple cider. So, we take our Calvados and measure a full tablespoon, a half ounce, right into the glass. My goodness, this will have me on my back in no time. Not that it takes very much to get me in that position, I tell you what. This is a lovely dry cider I have here. You may substitute, if you like, with a bit of a sweeter apple cider, but you must use apple. You are using Calvados. Oh my, you would get quite the muddle of flavors in there. But I want simple, I want clean and pure. As long as I can actually open this bottle of cider. Oh my, you know, time is a funny thing. All the ants and weasels and bugs and things ate away at the tendons in my hands, and I must admit, I'm quite weak now, but not too weak to make an excellent cocktail. Now, generally, the recipe calls for between 2.5 and 4 ounces of wine, or perhaps sparkling wine, or in this case, cider. I'm going to eyeball it, because that's what I can do. When you're famous like me, you don't have to have anyone tell you to do. Instead, you have excellent peons to make and create everything for you. Now, we do have a lovely cocktail here created in the glass, but I need a little bit of a garnish. Excellent. Just a little bit of a nightcap, if you know what I mean. So we take an apple slice, much like, but not exactly like, the pear slice that I created for the garnish for the other cocktail. Excellent. We fit it right upon the glass. Oh my goodness. What an excellent way to spend a fall night with your friend, Juli, child. Cheers. Just remember, vote. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. It was wonderful to spend such a enchanting, romantic evening with you all. Just remember, vote. Thank you, and good night.
Julia, I was realizing as you were talking, when we spoke about this evening before, I was under the impression you were going to wear a wig. But no, it's
Oh, no. You know, the The ravages of time have not been kind to my hair, as you can see. It's even thinning a little bit in the front. But this is 100% my hair.
Oh, yes.
Are you wearing a wig, madam?
No. Kind of a hat.
Oh. Well, whatever you need to do to cover up that bald spot, I won't judge you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Julia. Those were lovely.
Oh.
Very informative. You slow down, Julia. Slow down, Julia.
No, I don't think you.
Ooh. Almost there. I'm getting so good at this.
Oh my! I seem to have finished that on. Oh! All in one sip. Oh, what a handsome young man. Oh! Will you be stopping by later?
Yes, Julia.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. All right.
Excellent. Don't pay attention to her. She's just feeling self-conscious about her bald spot.
And with that note, there we go. Got it.
Maybe you're underneath the computer?
Many chords. Okay. Thank you again for joining us tonight. We are going to start with a not at all famous tune called Skeleton in the Closet. Apparently Bing Crosby did it. There is a video of Louis Armstrong doing it online. And now, Casey and I are going to do it. So here we go. There's an old deserted mansion on an old forgotten road where the better ghosts and goblins always hang out. And one night they threw a party in a manor a la mode, and they cordially invited all the gang out at a dark, bewitching hour when the fun was loud and hearty. A notorious wallflower became the life of the party. The spooks were having their midnight fling. The merrymaking was in full swing. They shrieked themselves into a cheerful trance when the skeleton in the closet started to dance. A goblin giggled with fiendish glee. A shot rang out from a big banshee. Amazement was in every ghostly glance when the skeleton in the closet started to dance. All the witches were in stitches while their steps made rhythmic thumps, and they nearly dropped their broomsticks when he tried to do the bumps. You never heard such unearthly laughter or such hilarious groans when the skeleton in the closet rattled his bones. folks were having their midnight fling. The merry-making was in full swing. They shrieked themselves into a cheerful trance when the skeleton in the closet started to dance. A goblin giggled with fiendish glee. A shout rang out from a big banshee. Amazement was in every ghostly glance when the skeleton in the closet started to dance. All the witches were in stitches while their steps made rhythmic thumps, and they nearly dropped their broomsticks when he tried to do the bump. You never heard such unearthly laughter or such hilarious groans when the skeleton in the closet, when the skeleton in the closet, when the skeleton in the closet ran on his bones. What did you go as for Halloween?
Dork.
Apparently you went as Julia's boyfriend. The next tune that we're gonna do is called Jeepers Creepers. I do wish they put pockets in this. I guess it's because it's so form-fitting. Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers, creepers, shall get up. How they get so lit up. You shall get up. How they get that size. Golly gee, when you turn those heaters on. Woe is me. Got to put my cheaters on. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Oh, those weepers, how they hypnotize. Where'd you get those eyes? Where'd you get those eyes? It's actually even besides the Jeepers Creepers part. I just keep imagining someone purchasing eyes somewhere. Where'd you get them? Oh, you know that store on the corner. Yeah, it's creepy. Creepy. We're gonna do a tune that Lil Hardin Armstrong wrote called "It's Murder." There it is. Lil Hardin Armstrong, for those of you that don't know, was married to Louis Armstrong. And I thought this song was particularly great because I have often thought the more you hear about their love story, the more I think Louis was really lucky she didn't murder him. So it's a good song. It's perfect and appropriate.
A little flat, sorry.
It's creepier that way. Now all you gals come gather round, stop raving about your man. Let me tell you how sweet mine is, or he commits a sin. 'Cause when my baby makes love to me, it's murder. Now when he turtle doves me, it's murder. Temperamental, I just let him have his way. I can only see him twice a week. He's a member of the PWA. Oh, when my baby caresses me, that's murder. But if he ever disrespects me, I will commit murder. If I tell him that he's not mine, he turns into Frankenstein, makes shivers run up and down my spine. Ooh, that's murder. But when also got wind of the fact that it is AJ's birthday tomorrow. So everybody wish AJ a happy birthday, and we're gonna wish her a spooky happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear AJ. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I'm gonna switch over to the other side. What's your costume again?
Julia's boyfriend. She makes good drinks.
She does. I think the video is on for all of that. Yes. Okay. All right. Next up, we have a dear friend of the show. He's not in town very often, but I heard he flew in for us today. You do fly in, yes? I think you need to unmute. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. I need you to unmute. You are muted, my friend. He came from far away, so, you know, mute buttons are different there. Nope, not quite. It is spooky this way, though.
Hello, hello.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, all right. I could have done it from here. Oh, I mean, I could have done it from here. Well, I don't know. Oh, well, Halloween greetings.
Halloween greetings.
Halloween greetings,
I'm gonna
Christy.
leave you to it. I know that everyone's in good hands. So I'm
Yep.
just gonna leave you to it.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to October, Lurking Month. It's my favorite month of the year. Lurking Month, my friend. Have fun lurking, you can lurk for good, or you can lurk for evil. Well, my friends, welcome to my basement laboratory. I, of course, am Count Yorgash. I bid you welcome. I am also known as Notrevo in some circles, some social circles upon which I hang my hat from time to time, when I wear a hat, which is not very often. But I'm here, and I'm very happy to be here, and here during Lurking Month. And we're going to share some music with you, but I wanted to introduce to you first my associates, Koenig, Schultz, and von Oberdorfer. And this is Koenig, Schultz, and von Oberdorfer. And then this is my pet cormorant, Little Augie. Little Augie has been my faithful companion and friend and traveling companion for lo these many years, for about 467 years. And he's irreplaceable, as you can see. But Little Augie is here, and also, let's see, is Little Augie in the way? No, I think he's, we have Notrevo's Zelle and PayPal information here. If you would care to throw a few drachmas his way, I would be much appreciated. It would help him get back to the old country next month. He can only afford to stay for so long. So very short time this time. But I want to share with you some Halloween songs. A couple of them are from back in the 60s when Notrevo was a bit younger and used to hear him on the radio, coming from Radio Transylvania. But here's a good one by Jumpin' Gene Simmons. Not the bass player for Kiss, but this is another guy. This is Jumpin' Gene Simmons. Just moved to my new house today. The move was hot, but it got squared away. Bells started ringing and chains went loud. I knew I moved into a haunted house. Still I made up my mind to stay. Nothing was gonna drive me away. When I seen something that gave me the creep. Had one big eye and two big feet. I stood right still and died to free. Did the stroll right up to me. Made the sound with the sweet like a drum. Said, will you be here when the morning comes? Say, yes, I'll be here when the morning comes. Yeah, be right here and I ain't gonna run. I bought this house, now you know I'm born. It ain't no ain't gonna run me off. In the kitchen, my stove was blazing hot. The coffee was boiling in the pot. The grease had melted in my pan. I had hung a meat right in my hand. From outer space there sat a man on a hot stove with the pots and pans. Say that's hot, I began to shout. He drank hot coffee right from the spout. He ate the raw meat right out of my hands. Yeah. Drank the hot grease from the frying pan. And he said to me, now you better run. And don't be here when the morning comes. Say, yes, I'll be here when the morning comes. Be right here and I ain't gonna run. I bought this house, now you know I'm born. Ain't gonna run me off. It ain't gonna run me off. Ain't gonna run me off. No, they ain't. That ain't. That's some good rhyming there. What do you think there, Koenig? How about you, Schultz, or even Von Oberdorfer? Giving me the silent treatment. After all I've done for you. Anyway, little Augie, I give you a break. You're tired. It's hard to get good help these days. Anyway, let's move on. We will move on now to another tune. I will tell you a little story about this song. Notrevo will tell you a story. I always like to talk about myself in the third person. It makes me feel like Mike Tyson. And this is a song by a group called the Classics 4, which they had some hits back in the 60s, 70s. And they eventually, without the singer, Dennis Yost, became the Atlanta Rhythm Section and had some hit records of their own. They were incredible players, studio musicians. And when I was in high school, Notrevo was in high school, yes, our band, the Continentals, and in our black tuxedos with the puffy blue shirts, we played a bunch of cover songs opening for the Classics 4. And we did our thing, and then they came out, and it was like, whoa, ho! I had never heard people play that good up close like that. They were incredible. But I had a beautiful sax player too, Buck White. They all those guys were on the original recording, and I was glad to get to see them play live. They played great live. But here's one of their hits, and I hope you like it. This features Chad McCullough on trumpet. Well, in the cool of the evening, everything is getting kind of groovy. I call you up and ask you if you'd like to go with me and see a movie. Now first you say no, you've got some plans for the night. Then you stop and say, alright, love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. You always keep me guessing, I never seem to know what you are thinking. If a fella looks at you, it's for sure your little eye will be awakened. But I get confused and I don't know where I stand. And then you smile and hold my hand. Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad McCullough. Thank you, Chad. Well, if you decide someday to stop this little game that you are playing, I'm gonna tell you all the things my heart has been a-dying to be saying. Just like a ghost, you've been a-haunting my dreams. So I'll propose on Halloween. Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Come on in now, Chad. Beep, 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 beep. Ah, spooky. So, yes, I like that song. I always have. The good ones really hold up. Yes, they do. All these hundreds of years I've been playing those songs, and they're just as good. Okay, well, here I will draw to a close the concert of Notrevo. I believe Notrevo will play one more and sing one more and stop. Once again, from Koenig, Schultz, and Van Oberdorfer, and my pal Augie, my traveling companion, we wish you a fond farewell. I will play one more song. This is the quintessential highway song. And don't forget, PayPal or Zelle to bill.overton@att.net. Much appreciated. Make it in drachmas now. Well, I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. My monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. He did the mash. The my laboratory in the castle east, to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get the jolt from my electrodes. They did the mash. Electrodes, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, the monster mash. Caught on in a flash, the mash. Well, the zombies were having fun, and the party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, woo, Dracula, and his son. They did the mash, the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, they played the mash, the monster mash. Out of his coffin, Drac's voice did ring. It seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist? It's now the mash. It's the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, now the mash. It caught on in a flash, the monster mash. The monster mash, now everything's cool. Drac's a part of the band. My monster mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell him Boris sent you, and do the mash. It was a graveyard smash, the monster mash. Caught on in a flash, monster mash. Oh, the monster mash, the monster mash. Bobby Boris Pickett and Jumpin' Gene Simmons and the Classics 4. They all have something sinister about them, don't they? Anyway, friends, this has been a blast once more from Count Yorgash, Notrevo. Christy, God bless you for doing this. And Notrevo will be around only for a short time more, and then he must hop back in his coffin filled with soil from his native land and make the long journey back home.
Notrevo, if you're getting on a plane, make sure you wear a good mask.
Oh, I will.
And those glasses. I think those glasses will help too.
I will. I'm in the bottom of a ship all the way, so by myself.
That's really the safest way to travel these days.
I have a lot of privacy down there.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Next up, we have Dan Stiernberg. He is closing out the show tonight. Thank you all for joining us. I work with a bunch of kooks. This is always fun to see what people come up with. Oh, hey there. And I believe this is a costume change.
Hi, Christy.
Hey. You're going to have to tell us who you are because I don't follow sports.
Okay. Stay right there. I'm going to tell you who I am.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going anywhere.
Figure out the choreography here.
Oh, good. I was hoping there'd be choreography. Oh, I waited on him once.
Did you?
It's literally like the only Cubs player I know because I was waiting tables once at Toast, and someone at the table I was waiting on went, "Is that Pryor over there?" And I was like, gosh, sure looks like him. Let me check. I'll find out. I had to go ask somebody. I was like, I don't know who it is, and it was him.
Yeah. I hope he was a nice guy. That's what we all say. Big time athletes.
He signed the kid's autograph and everything.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
If I was doing my segment in the manner of Notrevo, then I would have said something like, "Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Mark Pryor of the Los Angeles Dodgers, pitching coach. And thank goodness we had the night off tonight from the World Series, so I could be here with Christy, Bennett, and Fu Mei and play a few numbers."
If you were going to do it that way, that would be great.
But, that sort of, then if I had done it that way, somebody would holler, hey, wait a minute, continuity.
Yeah.
Continuity. Because
Totally.
if he's the pitching coach of the Los Angeles Dodgers, then why is he wearing his Cubs suit from 2000, early 2000s? Why is he wearing that? So
Probably likes the colors better.
some of you might have thought that I was Lou Piniella, but no, it's Mark Pryor.
I totally thought you were Lou Piniella.
I do bear a certain resemblance to Lou Piniella.
I know. No, just tell me. Gosh.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm an ornery old person, so that
Yes.
makes me a lot like Lou Piniella right there.
Right. That's what Lou Piniella is like. I knew that.
What's that?
That's what Lou Piniella is like. I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah, you're up on the sports.
Good old Lou. On that note, I'm going to leave you to it.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Christy, and hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Friendly Confines. And I got 3 songs here picked out for you, and I'm going to start with this one because it goes along good with the uniform. good and loud. All right. Well, there you have it. The Take Me Out to the Ball Game. One of my favorite tunes, actually. I'm going to do something I don't normally do on our weekly segments here, which is play two songs back to back here in the same key. I hope that's okay. One of the areas of the jazz music that I've been learning about from Christy, actually, is songs by great female songwriters. I've been hearing this tune. It's a great old standard tune. I'm hearing it every which way through the years, but I never knew until I was playing on Christy's band that it's written by the great Anne Ronell, and it might be her most famous tune. And just like the last one, which I like to think of as a blues, this one is also a blues. Willow, Weep for Me. It's funny. It probably has a tie to baseball somehow too, doesn't it? But here's Christy now to set me straight, I think. No, maybe not.
No, I wasn't going to set you straight. You're good.
I should go ahead?
Go ahead, yeah.
Pay no attention to that banana behind the curtain. All right. Yeah, this is one my teacher used to play a lot, and he put it on a record one time. It's a really nice solo mandolin version. Got me interested in this great chord progression. But of course, in his version, he was from Tennessee, like Notrevo, and so he called this tune "Willer, Weep for Me." wait for me, with a little Halloweenish chord at the end there, the flatted fifth chord, sometimes called the sharp 11 chord. With scary names like that, that's a chord that fits our Halloween motif tonight, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just going to brush up these pitches here and then do you one last number. And it's another Halloween appropriate title and another favorite song. This one, as I think I was telling you about this last week. It's a song I like so much I recorded it on Don Stiernberg recorded it on his newest CD, which is called Straight Ahead, by the Don Stiernberg Quartet. And happily on Halloween episode of Manouche Monday, the song has the title of Witchcraft. Witchcraft. And as soon as I get into the key of E flat here, I'm going to render it for you. Sorry, folks. I think Notrevo was telepathically playing my mandolin. From his sleeping quarters deep beneath the ocean. All right. So thanks to you all, and apologies to all the real Chicago Cubs out there. I know they tune in sometimes, but Witchcraft. Those fingers in my hair, that's like come hither stare, that strips the conscience bare, it's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it, the heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart goes yes indeed, and me proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. my hair. That's like come hither stare. That strips the conscience bare. It's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it. The heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft. Wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart goes yes indeed, and we proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one that I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. Though there's no nicer witch than you. Witchcraft. Wicked witchcraft. Happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, there's Christy. She's back.
That was wonderful, Dan.
Thank you.
Mark.
Yes.
Mr. Pryor.
Yeah. I got to go now, fly back to LA and coach the game.
Yeah, just mask.
We're hoping.
Maybe you could hitch a ride with Notrevo.
I could do what?
Hitch a ride with Notrevo. He takes a boat. It's safer.
Yeah. Is he headed to LA?
Maybe.
I'm sorry. It's in Texas where we play the game. I was just thinking of where our team lives, but yeah, the game is played in Arlington, Texas. Is he heading that way?
It's hard to say where Notrevo is headed.
I wouldn't be surprised. He seemed to be doing real well with those country kind of songs,
Yeah.
He might even
taking it on the road. That's the thing. When you're undead, you don't have to worry about plagues.
Yeah, it's true.
There's some perks.
Yeah, Notrevo has that timeless quality, doesn't he?
Yes. That undead quality.
Yeah.
Well, happy Halloween, Don.
Thank you.
And happy Halloween, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget, in case you'd like to send anything to my friend, Mark Pryor's friend, Don Stiernberg, right here. There's his. Yes. No jokes about that.
That way. That one.
Do I have it right?
Yeah. I just wasn't sure where we were showing up on the YouTube, but I think I'm helping. I'm either helping or pointing the other direction.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear. Either way.
Try.
I thank you all and wish you all the best. And till next time.
Happy Halloween.
So long, everybody.